Hello, my name is Calvin Anderson, the Executive Director of the Student Empowerment. We're here at a very auspicious moment where we're going to reflect on the life of actor, humanitarian and activist Tommy Ford. Tommy Ford, very recently here in Atlanta, was the mentor for 25 young men that basically he took off the streets. He showed them more than love, but an education of professionals across the country, as well as exposure to television production for career development. Today we will have reflections on the life, the late and the great Tommy Ford.
Letting young people know that I lived that life. That's not who you are.
Right now, we want to bring up the president, Dr. Samama. He is the president of Georgia Piedmont Technical College, and he wants to bring you words of wisdom and inspiration. And Dr. Samama.
It is a bittersweet moment here because we lost someone who had a passion for what he was doing. He wanted to change everybody's lives, he wanted to make everybody better, and he wanted to make it okay. And he wanted to take his celebrity and his notoriety, and he wanted to focus a lens on young black males that really, really needed our attention and really, really needed our support.
And it was, if it was kids who were in the shelter, if it was kids who were behind bars, if it was kids who were in foster homes, whatever it was, he was sold on making those kids' lives better. So the kids knew him in elementary because Martin has been in syndication. He was in syndication longer than he was on the air.
But his greatest feat to me in life was his being a humanitarian. He loved the world, he loved youth. He was seriously devoted to that mission. I had no choice but to be his assistant at that point.
30 years, I watched Tommy come up being an actor, and then he turned into being, I call him a fisher of men. And that's why we were here.
Tommy came to the school several times. He had been there so much, he had started becoming family. If he would have kept coming, we would have put him to work.
He left us with a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And I never really had my father, but my mama always took care of me. But he left me with something that, you know, you couldn't pay for it if you tried. And that's in all of it. If you don't know him, he still left something. He probably here. I was talking about him earlier. He probably here trying to get to me. But I was messing, just joning on him in my head.
But he realized the potential at Georgia Piedmont Technical College and the ability to pull men together, and he was just dead set on being who Tommy Ford is. I just can't thank him for being who he is and giving me an opportunity to be under his influence.
Here at a very humble and sad occasion with reflections of the late Thomas Ford, actor, humanitarian, and youth advocate. I'm also here with Dr. Jabbar Thomas, who actually worked with Tommy Ford over the summer. Can you explain what that project was about?
Yes, this summer we had a program called Through My Lens, and it was a documentary program and also a mentorship program where we had about 20 to 25 young African-American men who were brought in, and Tommy had twice weekly workshops with them, and they would talk to them about empowerment strategies. He would talk to them about the importance of education. Most of these kids were, he had a few who were high school students, but a lot of them were in their 19s and 20s. A lot of them were fathers. A predominant theme in the workshops was how to be a better father, how to be a better citizen, how to be a proactive person in your community and do things positively. And I have to tell you, I edited a lot of the documentary that resulted from it, and it was touching, it was very powerful. He did some really, really, really good work. And you could just see over the course of the 8 weeks of the program, you could see a lot of positive change in the students that were involved in the program.
Tommy Ford obviously is well known for his television sitcom that went on for many years, but the young people got an opportunity for exposure to television production?
Absolutely, because the instructors here, myself and Scoville Jenkins, we started out helping the students get their feet wet with video production, but by the end of the 8 weeks, Tommy's students, they were the Through My Lens participants, they were shooting, they were editing, they were doing all the work on the project, or the documentary, by the end of the documentary.
Well, that's really amazing. I mean, Tommy had such a hands-on approach. His heart was immediately available, and he was a friend to all. And, I mean, it's just such a loss right now.
Yeah, massive loss to the community. But I think, like many great servants of the community, Tommy is remembered not just by what we see on TV, on shows like Martin and New York Undercover, but also in the legacy he left with his students. We're going to see a number of those students here today, and I'm sure they're going to share some very, very fond memories, some funny memories and some touching memories of how Tommy has really affected them and how they're going to take their lessons that they learned from Tommy on throughout their lives.
Dr. King said, if you want to be important, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful. If you want to be recognized, wonderful. Recognize he or she who's greatest among you should be a servant. That's the new definition of greatness. By giving that definition of greatness, it means everyone can be great because everyone can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to know you have Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein theory of relativity, the second theory of thermodynamics and physics. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul journeyed by love, and you too can serve. And that's what he was about. Tommy was about serving. Right. He was about serving.